Hi guys, it's Sunday. We're gonna do the challenge video now because heavens knows what's going to happen next. It has been an absolutely crazy, crazy week. Say hi, brother. Yeah, we're all kind of vegetating and recovering today. Um, the energy has just been wild, crazy, intense, very what the duck, extremely, extremely what the duck. So much that what the duck doesn't even cover it. More like Fox. Fox, all of this stuff. I want to go hide in a cave. I kind of do. Legit. So I've decided that this week's theme, instead of a challenge, it has a theme. The challenge is to figure out the why. So the theme for this week, because I can't think of a better way to say it, is bullcrap. BS. And the lessons to be learned from said BS. For us, I have experienced BS myself in several ways, several very unexpected ways. Audrey forgot her favorite stuffed animal. You know how kids have like that one end all, be all item. Hers is her teddy bear. She had forgotten it. Well, she didn't forget it. Dad forgot it. Her daddy forgot it and refused to bring it back to us. And in turn, Audrey refused to nap without her teddy. Completely melted down. It was it was terribly tragic. And of course, she didn't want to go to bed at night either, even though she was completely exhausted. She just fought it every inch of the way because she didn't have her comfort item. So last night was a little bit difficult. Thankfully, he brought it back this morning, but you know, he had perceived it as a fight over control because I asked him to bring it back and he decided it wasn't a priority to him. The problem is it doesn't affect me, it affects Audrey. So on that level, the BS was the reaction to not taking her needs seriously. I was more frustrated with the fact that she was upset and that there was completely something that could have been done, but he didn't. So my lesson for that BS is that, you know, sometimes you just gotta deal. Do that a lot. Do that a lot. For today, and this was so unbelievable, like, I really just stopped for a moment and looked around and was like, is this actually happening? We go to a bouncy place. There's a really awesome big old warehouse where there's a bunch of giant bouncy inflatables. And the kids run and play and have a fantastic, amazing time. It's a great way to get their energy out, especially when it's cold. It's not really heated, but you run, you jump, and you keep yourself warm, you know? It wasn't too crowded. It was a little more busy than it usually is on a Sunday, again, because it's freezing, so everyone came inside instead of playing outside at the park like we normally do. And Audrey and I had just gone down one of the curved slides, and there was a boy who was old enough to know better, like 9, 10, way old enough to know better, coming up the slide at us. Audrey was in front of me between my legs. And I was like, no, 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 you need to turn around and go back down. That's not what we do. Which in my mind was the nice thing to do because my instinct was to kick him. And I know that's terrible, but I didn't. So when we got to the bottom, this big guy was right at me and says, F you don't need to discipline my son. And I'm like, okay, first off, who drops the F-bomb in the bouncy house? Like, that's so insane to start with. That I was like, excuse me? And he's like, F you, F off, I can't believe. And I'm looking around because other people are starting to notice, you know. And I was like, first off, no. Second off, your son's old enough to know not to run up the slide backwards. There's a 2-year-old girl, and at that point I had handed her off to Pop, which was great because then I got on Pop for watching the kids so I could deal with the crazy. And I was like, no. And he was like, you need to stay away from me and my son. And I'm like, no lie, I thought that there was like a hidden camera somewhere, because never in my entire, like, I've heard stories of parents at like soccer games. Baby, I'm videotaping. Thank you for the help. But I've never in my entire life actually witnessed. Hi, do you want to? There you go. Never actually witnessed something happen like that ever, ever. Like you hear stories about these parents, but I've never, never, ever, 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 ever actually seen it happen. And yeah. So I was like, okay, what am I gonna do? Because I really kind of want to punch this guy in the face. Like, my first instinct was to do the one body combo, which I really enjoy the one body combo. It's a punch to the head, punch to the gut, and then an overhand to the face. It's fantastic, glorious combo. I didn't, because my first thought was, ooh, I don't want to get us kicked out of the bouncy house. That's a normal parental thought. I probably shouldn't hit the adult because I don't want me and my kids to be kicked out of the bouncy house. So I did what any rational human being would do. I went to the manager on duty and I said, excuse me. I told her what happened. And she was like, oh no, no. She came out of the office with me, and we see these guys like almost every weekend. We had Dean's birthday party there, so like, we're not strangers. And she was like, that's not cool. And I showed her the guy. The guy's big. I mean, don't get me wrong, guy's big, but I clearly not intimidated. And I was like, yeah, this is the guy. And the guy's like, I can't believe you told on me. And I'm like, then maybe you shouldn't have done it. If you feel guilty for being caught and you thought that you could just intimidate and bully me, I was like, I think you need to leave. And she was like, she so switched from, oh my goodness, no, to, well, and I'm like, oh, no. And she was like, well, the kid's the one that's going to suffer. And I'm like, no offense, there are consequences to behavior. And kids need to know that. I was like, he's going to blame me anyway. He's not going to take responsibility for his actions. And she was like, well, and I'm like, no, he needs to leave. And she was like, well, can you apologize to her? And I was like, no. And he's like, I'm sorry. And I'm like, you're not sorry at all. And I'm looking at the woman like, what is going on here? Like, seriously, still looking for the cameras because this is so outrageous and insane. And I'm like, you know what? Whatever. Just whatever. I literally cannot believe this is happening right now. And I went and I played with the kids because I was like, I'm not going to let this bully douchebag ruin my time with the kids. I'm not. Plenty of people have witnessed him being A, a jerk, and B, then being rude to the manager. I was like, this is insane. Like, literally insane. Why are you kicking me? I know my abs are awesome. They don't need to test them. So, my lesson from that bull is that you can't change people. You can't expect situations. I was proud of myself. I didn't punch him in the face. Not even once. I did the calm, responsible thing instead of yelling back. Because let me tell you, you say that crap around my kids, I absolutely wanted to go crazy on this dude. Like, mama bear instinct kicked in immediately. But instead, I stayed calm and I went and I got management and thought that they would deal with it. Like, kicking that dude out after, seriously, like, but whatever. And it's not like I would have been like, nah. I would have been like, dude, just don't be a jerk. Like, how hard is it to not curse in front of small children at a bouncy house? How can you be angry at a bouncy house, Dean? You can't. So clearly this guy was dragging all of his crap into, I can't even, like, so you have to do what you got to do and then let it go. And I hope I never see that guy in public again, because heaven help me if that one body doesn't accidentally slip out of my fists, because the weird things happen, Dude, it was crazy. Like, seriously, and like, my mom was like, what happened? And I told her, and she was like, seriously? And I'm like, I know, right? Like, seriously. So I'm pretty sure there must have been some hidden camera somewhere. I don't even know. that's your challenge this week, is to A, realize that the BS is happening. Because, like, I was like, is this real life? Like, what is going on? Realize that this is happening. Realize it has nothing to do with you. Like, nothing to do with me. I'm betting that guy was divorced, whatever, was clearly not taking care of his kid. And probably just, took the kid there to I mean, I'm not going to make assumptions, but not a good parent. Seriously, not a good parent. It had nothing to do with me. Literally had nothing to do with me. I'm betting if it hadn't been me, he would have yelled at somebody else. It wouldn't have mattered. It was just a matter of time, that kind of guy. And he was a big guy, so he thought he could get away with it. He didn't think I was going to say anything. He thought I was going to run scared. He's lucky I didn't punch him. So, identify the BS. And then try and find why it bothers you. It bothered me because he was a bully. Like, through and through. Completely. And I don't deal with that. I won't deal with that, especially around children. Not for a moment. I won't deal with that. That's why it bothered me. The lesson I learned from it was I did the right thing instead of escalating the situation, which I wanted to. I wanted to yell. I totally wanted to yell back, but like, I was so shocked that somebody was yelling dropping the F-bomb at the bouncy house, that I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to be a responsible, mature adult and go to management and get this guy kicked out. The lesson, I guess, for the management that didn't kick him out is forgiveness. Of course, she clearly didn't witness the incident. I don't even... there's probably lots of lessons for him in that my forgiveness. Didn't punch him, didn't yell, didn't overreact, just went and did the right thing. And then I'm still like laughing about it. Somebody was atrociously dropping F-bombs in the bouncy house. Like, that sounds like the beginning of like some weird story. Like, it really does. What'd you do Sunday? Well, I almost punched a guy for dropping F-bombs at the bouncy house with my kids. What'd you do? And realize that all this crazy does make for fantastic stories. So share with your friends, because everyone probably is going to have a really awesome BS story this week. There are too many astrological crazinesses going on right now to not end up with just a crazy, random, awesome BS story. So, take your story, write your story, share your story, love your story, embrace your story, and then realize that it's done. That part of the story, both of them, we got Teddy back. Teddy is safe. Sissy is sleeping in my room with Teddy. We're resting and playing right now. And that dude will forever be the crazy guy that dropped the F-bombs in the bouncy house. And we will ensure that Teddy does not leave home again in that fashion. So, happy week. Be prepared. Remember who you are. Remember what you value. Don't let things get to you, because it's not worth it. Really? Not worth it at all. So, I love you. Have fun. If you expect that craziness is going to happen, it never affects you in the same way. So just don't take it personally, because for the most part, it has nothing to do with you. Take care of the people around you, the people that you love, and share your crazy stories. I love you guys. We'll talk to you later. Bye.